Well, welcome back, everyone. It's another exciting day in markets near all-time highs. Let's get right into it by taking a quick look at a very powerful toolkit with strategies that can help with market direction and, of course, individual security trade ideas as well. This is the Trader Rescue Package, or the TRP toolkit, applied to price action for the S&P futures. We're sitting at around 60.25 for the S&P E-minis. The SPY is sitting at about $598.20, and the signals are what we're going to focus in on a daily chart and a 4-hour chart. There's been a transition after the dip we've had. So we had a dip yesterday, but we got bid up off of the low yesterday, which is our expectation. We were looking for roughly $594 to be hit and then a dead cat bounce. But now the signaling toolkit's telling us that this dead cat bounce could actually have some legs to take us a little higher, which was our supposition to begin with, making new all-time highs that are more negatively divergent before we move down. And if you don't know what negatively divergent is, well, if you take a look at the TRP momentum crossover lines in the subchart here, when we made highs back over here, the momentum crossover lines against the channel made a high. We've made higher highs in price, but we have not made a higher high in that momentum line, which means we're using less of that bullish fuel, and that implies likely less duration of us being able to stay up there. It does not necessarily mean we can't make a higher high. We've already done that, and we're still in a spot where we can still do so. And one of the reasons I want to give you an insight on this is the 4-hour chart, which was flattening out. Major bullish momentum had turned around. We got a negative crossover. We still know that the MSR channel is pointed up on the daily, on the 4-hour. And the 4-hour chart tends to throw its signal out 3 to 5 days. It was on a sell. Today, we now have a transition from the 10 a.m. Eastern time bar that closed at 2 p.m. We know that that now is a confirmed buy signal with a TRP target 1 at around 60.87, a target 2 sitting up at the 61.42 area. Now, in the active trader room earlier today, and during a very special educational session that we did for folks this morning, we commented on where the market is likely to go based on the signals. And the idea of getting up to the 60.50 to the 60.75-ish area was on tap. And indeed, it has been signaled officially when we have aligned buy signals on the daily, on the 4-hour, not to mention the fact that we've got aligned buy signals on the weekly, by the way, as well. And we are in that spot where the weekly does have a higher high in front of it likely as well. This alignment of longer-term timeframes allows one to lean on another up, but one that is likely very short-lived, one that I would rather sell into. And what I'm really looking for is, as markets try to make a higher high, get into the 60.50 area, which you can see here on the 1-hour chart that throws its signal out 3 to 6 hours, as it tries to make it back up there, bouncing off of the rising channel on a TRP buy, it is a high probability that small negatives can turn into bigger negatives. And if we start to see markets rising and things that are more hedgy like volatility long or inverse ETFs start to get bid up, or gold, for example, that would imply the market is getting ready for a completion of this rise. Now, what I can say is, realistic based on the current signal state for us to attempt a move to a higher all-time high, make another negative divergence before we come back down. The beautiful part about the toolkit is if we're not in a mode to take on swings because we're in the completion of this market move, so I'd rather not be getting into fresh new long side trades because this is more so likely the completion of the up through the election. The toolkit can be used on an intraday basis. Check this out. A buy signal, TRP buy, on a 5-minute chart at 10:30. Now that's a day trading chart. We got the first step of 3 steps that we need to look at a higher probability trade. We got a buy signal, price action closed above the channel, and that's step 2. And step 3, we got a positive momentum cross. Now that took price, if one took the trade at the end of that bar, let's call it 60.13 on the ES, all the way up towards, and let's just kind of be fair and call it about 60.33. That's a 20-point move. On one contract, that's $50 a contract. Now, an impressive move up, signaled in advance, and also signaled to where it's likely to start coming off. And of course, we did get the sell signals to boot. The toolkit is incredible at intraday across asset classes, and of course swing. And I look forward to sharing more insights on exactly this with you in the days to come. Congratulations, and I thank you so much for all of the positive feedback. Rob was sharing that with me from the TRP session, the educational session we did earlier today. And welcome to all of the new TRP student family members. We look forward to being on this journey with you. And of course, all of our long-standing students, our entire student family. You guys are and gals are the best.